Hello everyone and welcome to the Gunpla Network. I'm the Spicer and today we'll be taking a look at, well, the GP01 Full Bernier, the high grade GP02, and the high grade GP03, and I'll let you know where they stand for me personally. You can find the unboxings and reviews here on our YouTube channel, and all of them are brought to you by those fine folks over at Canadian Gundam. Canadian Gundam is your one-stop shop for all things Plamo and Gunpla here in North America. With flat rate shipping to the US and Canada, a private warehouse option, and a vast catalog that's restocked regularly, they're going to have you covered whatever you're looking for. When you're checking out that vast catalog, don't forget to use the promo code Gunpla Network to save yourself 10% off. So will it be the accidentally double take GP01 Full Bernier? Well, it didn't get a review from me. Liam did do a review for this, and, well, now there's two unboxings for it. But will this stack up against the newer GP02 or the GP03? And in kind of a way, will it stand up to the other GP01s out there? Or will the near decade of new technology put into the GP02 make all the difference? Is all that technology really going to make this big chunky boy more posable, or is this design limited in how much it can actually function? Or is it somewhat the underdog of the GP03? Can it stand on its own without the dendrobium unit? And at least for me personally, this was not a design I was all that into. I didn't dislike it, but I was fairly lukewarm on it. But how will it stand up against its two brethren? Well, it should come as a relatively little surprise that the GP01 Full Bernier ends at the bottom of this list, but not necessarily because of itself. Largely speaking, this is the only one that has another 1/144 scale kit, and the real grade is leagues better than the old high grade. Now, yes, I know you're saying it's not fair to compare an old high grade to a newer real grade, but if you're looking at purchasing a 1/144 scale GP01, the real grade, as finicky as it is the definitive version in my mind. The other two you don't have an option for. You pretty much have to go the high grade, but this, there is a better choice out there, and really the GP01 Full Bernier high grade doesn't bring anything special to the table. If it had had some different accessories or anything else going for it, it would have been nice, but the Core Fighter is a cool accessory. It just doesn't make that much of a difference for me personally. And in second place, that puts the GP03. And I will say that oddly enough, this was a much closer race between first and second than second and third. I was really not into the GP03 beforehand. Like I said, I don't hate it, but I've just never been really into it, and the whole big selling point from my understanding was the dendrobium unit. But this is one of those kits, much like the high-grade Cosmic Era Strike, that in plastic form is so well proportioned that I actually have a greater appreciation of the mobile suit in the lore. Now, this does have a master grade that is relatively similar in age, so whether or not this is the definitive version is hard to say because there's also another high grade with the dendrobium. So there are a couple of different versions, but generally speaking, in the high grade form, the 1/144 scale, they're going to be the same thing. It's just whether or not you want the big mobile armor, and then if you want to go to the master grade, there's a couple of other things going on with it. But if you want just a nice, fairly basic representation that could take a little paint, this is actually really good. The gimmicks are well done, it doesn't feel like it's going to fall apart, and while the accessories are fairly lackluster, it's still a really nice, basic, well-executed design. And unsurprisingly, the GP02 with its, like I said, near decade of technological advancement over the GP01 and GP03 is the winner. Now, I will say I do have some problems with this kit, but generally speaking, it knocks most of everything out of the park. The stickers are fairly well done. There are a few I dislike, but the ones I was worried about, for the most part, actually were pretty surprisingly well done. You have beam saber storage on the waist skirt, which is always nice to see. A little hard to get out, but regardless, it's there. It does have the clear beams and green, which is always nice. I love green beam sabers. You can fit everything that comes with this kit on the kit itself if you really want to. Now, I will say I don't think the shield's done terribly well, and while the bazooka is nice, it is somewhat difficult to pose and is very limited in how you can kind of maneuver it around. The MLSR pack is pretty cool, but once again, any kind of ranged weapon is fairly hard to sell in dynamic pose. But at least for static poses, this guy is pretty imposing. Its large, unique silhouette is going to make it fairly stand out on your shelf regardless of what you have. Now, I will say that, once again, there's a master grade of this, but in terms of 1/144 scale, this is kind of it. So this is your definitive version because nothing else exists. Master grade is older from my understanding, so this might actually beat it out in some ways as well. Overall, out of this is probably the one that holds up the best. Is it a modern high grade? No, but it's very, very, very close. The other two, you can tell the age, but it doesn't inherently mean they're bad. But overall, that's my thoughts. The GP01 Full Bernier at the bottom, the GP03, then the GP02. Let me know in the comments down below if I'm crazy or if I missed something or if you have a different ranking, because I would like to know what you guys prioritize in your high grades. But as always, friends, I've been the Spicer here at the Gunpla Network. Please do your best to stay safe and keep on building.